Okay, we got this dollar index here, DXY. You can see that it is breaking this area. It was resisting it heavily here, 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 and then finally now broke. Actually completely filled it, so as of Friday. So price, I mean, the dollar still is bearish. It's below this moving average, but I mean, possibly not for long. I don't know if it's really going to go bullish by any means, but I mean, this is the next area here. So kind of what happens here is, you know, our next area to target is right here at this 103 level, and then our support areas become right here. So you can see price kept pushing higher and higher, and it was creating, you know, more support higher and higher and higher. So now right now you're sitting at, you know, 102 kind of is the support for the dollar index, and you know, our target is 103. So it can definitely hit that, and then I'd be interested to see, I mean, possibly maybe the dollar is switching trends for the rest of the year, and maybe, you know, maybe the dollar will gain some strength. You got 103 as your first immediate area as far as relative strength, and then, you know, you got 104 up here. So that you know, we'll really see. Oh, I wrote 102 here, but it's actually 103. Anyways, yeah, so 103 is where we are headed for, where you're looking, you know, to take a position on. I'm still, as of right now, I'm still short on the dollar because it did make lower lows, you know, based on this price action here. It is still below this moving average. I mean, if we look here on the weekly, still very structurally bearish. You can see there's a weekly zone of heavy resistance here. So right kind of where price is. So there's a chance that it doesn't even quite make it to 103 based on this weekly scenario here. So that is something we got to look for. So if you flip it back to the daily, you can see this is the weekly, and price is just below this. So we'll see how this next week closes. It is Sunday right now, so this will be opening, and it's still a little while from now, but we'll see how it opens, and then we'll see how, you know, towards Friday, so like 5 days from now, how this closes, and we'll see if it actually fills out this zone at all. Because if it starts rejecting heavily, then we might be, you know, right back to the downside. But these last 4 weeks have been pretty bullish. Last week especially, now that just closed, full bull. So there's potential for this to break, you know, up into this area and target 103. But we will see how it closes. I'm still bearish. I still think the dollar is going to weaken long term, but we'll see if price crosses over this 1 hour, or sorry, this daily moving average, and then holds. I mean, then we're looking for a bull dollar, but it's got a lot of areas that it has to break first for that to happen. You know, specifically this 103 area first, and then 104, and then possibly 105 way up here. So I mean, the idea of the dollar being, you know, strong, unlikely. You got all these areas here, literally at each whole number. So 103, 104, and 105. Price would have to break, which, you know, first up is 103. So we'll see if that can break, and if not, it's headed back down to the downside. Probably targeting, you know, the 101 area here. Probably, well, yeah, probably 101, and then 100, and then, yeah, we'll see if it can break this low here, but that'll take some time. As of right now, it's been temporary bullish, so it's pulling up to these areas. If we look on, I just want to see something quick here. I mean, on a monthly aspect, there's a ton of support here. Everything below 101 on the monthly does not like to close below 101 on the month. So there is some significant support there on a monthly aspect, so that's good to keep in mind and look for, you know, towards how, you know, towards the end of the month, and see how this closes. But yeah, I mean, this dollar is interesting. I mean, maybe it's just retracing. Like, I did consider that. So if you look up here, we got a weekly time frame here. You see price hasn't retraced yet. So like, since it made its high back in September, it's been almost a year. It's been down for an entire year, but it could retrace, so that could be what it's doing right now. On this weekly time frame, you can see that, I mean, it has recently made a lower low still though, so we really don't know for sure what it's doing. There's this nice zone here right at this 38.2 level that I do like. You can see price just sits this zone is just perfect right here, so there's a chance that, like, if, and I would consider this, so if price breaks 103, it breaks this area, then I mean, I would obviously have to break 104, but then it would probably be going right to 105, which obviously makes sense. Breaks, those previous zones, it's going to go to 105, and then I think 105 will be the end of its upwards move if it breaks these two zones, just because you can see this area of significance. And I mean, it's been a year. This is due for a retrace of some kind, so that's very reasonable for the dollar index to do that. I don't think it's impossible by any means. So that is what I'm looking for. Obviously, last week closed very bullish, so I kind of expect this upcoming week, to really push into the zone and really test it. I'm not sure if it'll break 103, but I think it will test 103 for sure. So that is the dollar index.